What's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another rendition of an episode of the Round Table Talk. I am your host, C Money. And first off, I want to tell everybody Happy New Year's, Happy past holidays, because this is the first episode of the Round Table Talk in 2021. And the last episode we did was an episode right after the presidential election, and a lot of things went down afterwards. For instance, I started back working at my job. Thank you very much. I'm now an essential worker because a lot of people didn't start back working. A lot of people at my company couldn't come back. They only have a select few, and I'm one of the select few. And a lot of things been going on, and now I have the opportunity to actually do a 2021 episode. I want to say um, happy holidays, happy New Year's to everybody. Um, I'm here at, I want to say famous, but it's not famous, but I'm going to say famous, Jose Marti Park. And the reason why I'm calling it famous because this park was, there was if you recall, last year, 2019, they did a scene in this park in the movie Bad Boys 3. I'm not trying to spoil it for anybody, but this was the park, Jose Marti Park. This was the park where, when Will Smith was talking to his police captain or chief, or and he got shot in the park by a boater that came by the water that was riding by, that was passing through on a boat, and they shot him while they was passing through on a boat. But he was coaching a basketball team. The basketball courts is on the other side. I'm here near the water. In back of me, if you see the building, that's where the restroom is at. I actually was at another spot, but the lighting was too light. You can barely see, you can only see my face. You couldn't see like the side of me. So I had to move to where the lighting was like a little bit more, where you can see the background as well. It's a little bit more lighter, but you can see me more now than it was the other location. It was only another bench over there, so it didn't matter. But this is the Jose Marti Park, and as you know, Jose Marti is a Cuban, famous Cuban personnel. I'm not going to get into him. If you want to know more about Jose Marti, you can look him up and Google him. You know, he's a famous person in the Cuban population. So, yeah. Today I want to talk about, as you know, what's been going down. There's several things I want to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about what went down last week. This is, as you know, a bunch of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol and trashed the U.S. Capitol on the same day that they was counting, and counting and doing all of the tally up votes and everything and all that stuff to declare who actually is the president, who's declared the president. Even though they already declared Joe Biden is the president of the United States, but they, was doing the calculations and everything and all that because, as you know, since Joe Biden won, President Trump has been doing several investigations saying, and now that he's saying that the election was rigged, they rigged the election and all of that. So a lot of his Trump supporters stormed to Washington, D.C. Some are from Florida, and everybody from, I guess, every 50 states. There was somebody that came from Trump. I don't know if there was from every 50 state, but I'm just guessing because there was a lot of people. And now it comes to the fact that they trashed the U.S. Capitol. And right where Mike Pence and a lot of the Senate and a lot of them was there, they had to move to other locations in the Capitol. And one guy was sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desk with his feet up on her desk. And, a lot of, some people got arrested. One lady got shot. Another officer got killed in the process. He died. And it was a big dish. And because of that, they are now getting ready to, and they are now pushing forward to impeach Donald Trump for the second time. And to me, here's what I'm going to say about this. I think that what happened in Washington D.C. Yes, I believe Trump initiated it, even though he tried to make it seem like you know what I'm saying, what they were doing was wrong, and he tried to cover it up. But you initiated it because before they had the rally, before they had the riots and the destroying of the U.S. Capitol, you actually had a conference with your peoples out there. And then these people stormed because they felt like, oh, we don't want Biden as president. We want this, we want that. The election was rigged. You had these people come to realize that the election was rigged, and you wanted these people to support you. And by supporting you, they stormed the U.S. Capitol, and then they tried to overturn the votes in the election. And you have to look at one thing. You can't, this is the first president that I've seen that actually did, there might have been other presidents, but ever since I was born and that I know of, there has not been a president that I've known to actually do a full investigation of an election, because most presidents say, okay, the votes are votes, I lost, you know, and he's been doing this investigation ever since they declared Joe Biden, and he's like, dude, it's less than 2 weeks away from the transition of power, and you're still going on as the election is rigged, the election is rigged. What can you do? You had certain states recount their votes, and it's saying the same thing, Biden. You now have the government sitting up here doing the investigation. Said the same thing, Biden. What else can you do about it? And I was sitting up here looking at everything, and I was telling people, why impeach him now when he only has 2 more weeks left in office? Less than 2 more weeks left in office, because the transition of power happens on January 20th. And he already said that he's the 3rd or the 4th president, I'm not mistaken, that would not be attending the inauguration, which is fine because Biden probably didn't want him there anyway. But my thing is, I looked and I didn't do too much of research, but I put 2 and 2 together, and I also knew, because I was saying, why are you impeaching this man when he only has less than 2 weeks in office? But I learned, and this is what the thing I never knew, that when you are impeached, regardless of when you're impeached, regardless if you impeached the day before transition of power, you impeached 2 or 3 years before transition of power of election, whenever you've impeached, you cannot rerun for president. Meaning, right now, Donald Trump he can rerun in 2024. But if he's been impeached and he's been impeached, he cannot run in 2024. Now that Biden is transitioned and President Trump is no longer the president, he can run in 2024 because he have not served his 2 terms. And I really didn't know that till recently, that, and I know it is a rule. I've just never followed up on it because in school they really don't tell you too much about this. About a president can run again if he loses his 2nd term or his 2nd run for presidency. He can run again in 4 more years. It's just that would be his 2nd and last term if he do win. That a president can run as long as he have not served his 2 terms, meaning that he lost this time to Joe Biden, but he can run again in 2024 and can become the president again. And then after 2024, he served his 2 terms. And they don't teach you that in school. In most schools, they don't teach you that. But I mean, yeah, you put 2 and 2 together, you know all that and stuff. Right now, there's a little boat tugging a big old boat by, and I'm looking at the big boat, and I'm like, wow, it's a huge boat. So I'm by the Miami River. Like I said, I'm at Jose Marti Park. But my thing is, yeah, and I'm looking at it as if this man is here doing a lot of this stuff, And you still like first off, I congratulate him for pushing the $600 stimulus and the 9 billion whatever stimulus package, because right now you still have people that's out of work. It is 2021, and everybody was saying that, oh, 2021 is going to get better. No, it's not going to get better. We just hit 2021, and you just now got the vaccine for the coronavirus. And the vaccine don't need much work because it was confirmed that a health official that got vaccinated died. And it didn't trend. It was all over like all over the internet. It didn't trend to national news. It was all over the internet, and I was like, wow. So even if you do get vaccinated, there's a slight chance that you still could die. But there was only one case of that. And you have to wait. You get that vaccinated one time, then you have to wait 3 weeks to get vaccinated again. But it's only for people. For right now, it's only for people 65 and older. So everybody else has to wait till July, August, or whatever. They have to wait till the summer to get vaccinated because they only doing 65 and older. And I'm telling people, it's not going to get better. People say, oh, 2021 is going to be a better year. It's not going to get better. You know, right now, Miami is under a curfew. They have a midnight curfew, because the cases are still going up. And not only that, you got people still getting sick, people still dying, people are not heeding by this thing, just like everybody was like, and I told people, this election was just like the Obama McCain election. You know what I'm saying? When Obama first ran for election, when he first ran for election, and then he won and he kept going and he won again. I told people the main reason why Obama won the election is because they got tired of the Republicans killing their family. When the war first started, it was about killing the people who started 9/11. Then it transitioned over. It wasn't about 9/11 no more. It was about money, oil, opium. It was about money, basically. And Bush kept sending people to Iraq, to Iran, to this place, to that place. You know what I'm saying? He was sending people overseas, and you was killing people's aunties, uncles, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters. And these people was like, dude, you have not yet found Osama bin Laden, and you have not killed this man. Why are you still killing these people's families? Half of these people are blind, don't have arms, don't have feet, can't walk, can't talk, have messed up face. They partially disabled, fully disabled. They can't do nothing but sit here and just look at the sky because you killed them all because of money. At first it was about 9/11. Oh, let's get the people who killed these people at the World Trade Center. Then it came to the point where now it's about money. Now it's about this. Now it's about that. So people said, look, let's get another person in. Because John McCain said if he was elected president, he wanted to go another 100 years with this war. And nobody wanted to go another 3-4 years and 5-6 years with this war. They wanted this shit to end. So what? Excuse my language, but then that's why they got Obama. And halfway through his presidency, he found Osama bin Laden. Bam, it was gone. And it's the same thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, excuse my language, said, fuck the coronavirus. Um, it's the China virus. First of all, it is not the China virus. Corona been around for years. Look on the back of a Lysol can and it tells you it kills coronavirus. And that's been around for years. It's just that the coronavirus became an epidemic, and a pandemic, just like E. coli, Ebola, the flu. It's just like any other virus out there. But this one is just a deadly virus. The flu is not a deadly virus like that to where it can kill instantly. You can, and the same thing with pneumonia. Pneumonia is a deadly virus, but it's not as deadly as you can get pneumonia, but you can get cured for pneumonia like that because they probably have pills and medicines and stuff that can help you. They didn't have that for coronavirus. They only had certain things. Coronavirus wasn't as deadly wasn't as deadly back then that it is now. And a lot of people was like, hey, you telling us fuck corona. You walking around here without a mask. You walking around here having these rallies with no mask on, walking around here having these parties. It was confirmed online at his Mar-a-Lago home, which is in Palm Beach, which is down here in Florida, that like a week or two ago, or a few weeks ago, there was a party at his house. Rudy Giuliani, which is his attorney, and also one of his sons, attended the party. When when they officials got there, there was a bunch. Everybody, well, majority of everybody, I can't say how many allegedly, was there without masks. They was partying, and it was a group gathering. They had a little event. There was people with no masks and stuff. So it came that officials wanted to shut down Mar-a-Lago because it was unsafe. Because everywhere Trump goes, he tells people, even in his campaign trails and even in his campaign speeches, when he did these political speeches and had these campaign rallies and stuff, he didn't come with a mask. When you saw Joe Biden come out, Joe Biden had on a mask, you know. And now he's sitting up here saying, oh, this is the China virus, this is the China virus. It's not the China virus. It's a statewide country it's a worldwide virus. It probably started in China, but China did not invent this virus. This virus has been around for years. And a lot of people say this is a man-made virus. It may be a man-made virus. Most of these viruses are man-made, but you will never know. But the thing about it is, you have to stop treating this virus like somebody created the virus. Oh, they created the virus. Oh, this person created. No, you don't do that. You have to look at it from a point of perspective, from the point of view. Now you created a mob of rioters and Trump supporters and mob all over. Even in Miami, they were supporting. When I went to work, my boss was like, okay, yeah, you see there's a bunch of people across the street from the job. I say I didn't see them because I went in from another way. But the thing about it is now you have all over, you have Trump supporters, and now they have to step up more security now because of the inauguration. They put borders around, they put gates around the U.S. Capitol, and now they have to amp up security now for, what I'm saying, the inauguration. Because now, even though they can't have a lot of people at the inauguration due to CDC guidelines and coronavirus and stuff, you now have maybe Trump supporters that may go there and try to riot it and corrupt the inauguration. And this is one of the reasons why I know they're trying to get him out of office, because you initiated these riots, you initiated these attacks on the U.S. Capitol, you initiated these attacks in Washington D.C., you initiated these attacks for your supporters to come out here and have them um, overturn this election. And I'm like, dude, what has been done has been done. You can't stop what the election people have voted for. These people said they was tired of you killing they family members by just saying, well, even in the debate, I don't know if y'all seen it. I posted in one of my last few episodes where I posted that he was like, I want everything to open back up, and then Joe Biden was like, I don't want to open everything back up. I want to open everything. I want to open up safely for people. Donald Trump just want to open everything back up because he's like, oh, the economy is hurting. Let's open everything back up. Yes, the economy is going to be hurting even more, even if you open everything back up. Because number one, I'm not going to be dining in a restaurant knowing that there's people dining in the restaurant and this virus is out here. I'm not going to be going to a club dancing on the dance floor when this virus is out here. But you trying to open things back up so people be like, wow, let's open it back up. But you have to realize one thing. This pandemic won't be gone for another 2 or 3 years. It will be 2022, maybe 2023. But it'll probably be 2022 before we ever get to back a little bit of normalcy. Right now, some of the clubs in Miami have to close at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. When most clubs, they open till 5, 6 in the morning, you know. But they have to close early. I mean, me and a friend went recently to you know what I'm saying, a place where, you know, they had to close their doors at 1. And he was like, oh, because, and it was in Broward County for a lot of that. And he was like, oh, the reason why is because, and I went, what I'm saying, to see social distancing, see how they doing social distancing. And, what I'm saying, certain places, I say there's not social distancing. You go to these places, you don't see social distancing, just like with malls. Yeah, you don't see social distancing in the mall because malls are going to be crowded, and they don't limit the capacity of who comes into the mall, because people go in, people go out all the time. The same thing the movie did, the same thing. Only thing that's being limited is most stores. Most stores they have somebody at the door that's waiting to say, okay, somebody go in. What I'm saying? We limited to this much person, and then if it's too many people, you gotta wait till somebody come out and stuff. Which is understandable. But they have to realize one thing. It won't be until 2022 when we start feeling a little bit more better. Buses down here are still free. I know a lot of places they have reinstated bus service to where you not have to pay. But in Miami and the South Florida area, well, Palm Beach, they have reinstated bus fares. Miami and Broward County have not reinstated their bus fares because their case is still going up. And you have to enter through the back door. And I know a lot of places now in other states are still shut down and still have curfews. You know, just Washington D.C. had a 6 p.m. curfew. And when I was looking at it, I was at work because I was looking at it at the TV at my job, and I was like, these people are not gonna hear to this curfew because it's already after 5 o'clock, and you think they're gonna leave by 6 o'clock? They say a lot of places, a lot of travel businesses was making money. Airplanes, buses, trains, a lot of the transportation, industry was making money because a lot of people were taking flights to DC that day. A lot of people was taking planes and buses to DC. They was making money off of these supporters. And even with car people, we went to car and you going to DC, a lot of these people was making a lot of money. And I say, wow, this is a lot. And I say, to you people out there, I'm not saying I can't say because this is a talk show. I can't, say my political who I voted for and all that because this is a talk show. So I have to keep my political, things. I have to keep it close because I can't say I voted for this person, voted for that person because, and there are people that want they may watch my show that Trump supporter. There may be people that watch my show that's a Biden supporter. There may be people that watch my show that are different that support any other person. But you have to look at the perspective. If it wasn't for this coronavirus, I believe Trump would have probably been another in office another 4 years. But this coronavirus changed the way people look at politics. Joe Biden said, I want to open everything safer. I don't just want to open everything back up. We know that the economy is hurting. We know that people lost their jobs. We know that people lost their houses, lost their cars. They can't feed their kids. We know that people are hurting right now. But the best thing we can do is try to maintain and stay safe. By you opening things back up, look at the clubs. I've seen clubs in Atlanta. I've seen clubs in, Miami. I've seen clubs in different other cities where people posting club scenes on social media where you got 100, 200 people in the club. No social distancing, no 6 feet apart. People dancing up on each other. People at the bars next to each other. They not sitting every other seat. Because when you go into a restaurant, you're supposed to have every other seat closed off. You're supposed to have, most restaurants, they don't need much allow you to eat inside. And then some restaurants, they have outside seating. And that's what the code card is supposed to be, and stuff like that. I done been inside. I done been to Denny's and certain restaurants where they only have outside seating. Went to the point you have to sit outside. And then there's some people that has the option where you can sit inside, you can sit outside. Then there's restaurants where they have the option where you can sit inside or you can sit outside. There's restaurants that have options that you can only sit outside. There's restaurants that have options that you can only sit inside, but you have to sit every other seat. But then there's restaurants that don't have seating at all. You just got to take your food to go or you get your food delivered. Now, I can say this, the delivery industry has boosted up a lot because a lot of these restaurants that didn't use delivery services, that only did dine-in and takeout, now they're using delivery services because, it's more convenient to boost up their sales. And a lot of these businesses don't use delivery services because, like me, I don't use Uber Eats and Postmates and saying DoorDash. I don't use those. I order from restaurants off of their site, and they use those delivery services to deliver food to my place. But personally, I don't use those sites. Why? Because if my meal is $5 and I'm getting it delivered, I may pay $10 just for you to deliver my meal. So why am I paying an extra $10 to get a $5 meal delivered? Or if I'm paying $10 for a meal, why do I have to pay extra $10 to have my meal being delivered? I understand if my meal is $34, I'm paying $10 delivery. But if I'm paying a $5, like let's say I get a $5 combo from a Burger King or McDonald's or anything like that, you know, and you're gonna charge me $10 to deliver my food? No. And that's why I don't use delivery services and like that. Now, if your website, the restaurant that you go to and you order from their website, because there's some, like there's two restaurants that I order from, and my orders be delivered from DoorDash, but the restaurant is doing the delivery from DoorDash. It's not me doing it from DoorDash, it's the restaurant. So I kind of get that. But me personally, ordering off of DoorDash app or website or whatever, I wouldn't do it because you'll probably be paying off like more to get your food delivered because DoorDash and Postmates and Uber Eats is just like Uber and Lyft. The company you have to pay to the driver to pick up your food and bring it to your house, and then the company has to get a cut of the money. And you can tip the driver, and then what if your meal comes up to $5-6, and then the delivery charge is $10? Do you want to tip the driver? You know, there's a lot of things that, factors with this. And with President Trump, it's like this thing that's been going down. It's really been tickling with a lot of people. And I say to this is that, it's going to get worse before it get better. Now, when Biden get into office, it's going to be a lot of things. Like they said, they always said, it's going to divide people even more once he get into office. It's going to divide people even more. And this coronavirus is in with this because the two things that are happening that are happening at the same time at the wrong time. This coronavirus and this election. And the one thing that people don't understand is we got to contain this virus first before we can be worried about an election. Y'all more worried about this election than you is worried about this virus. You out here rioting, you out here, bashing things, trashing the U.S. Capitol, protesting in different cities, making a statement, killing people, doing all this stuff because of the fact that you don't like that Joe Biden is being elected for office. But what about your grandma, your grandfather, your aunt or uncle that died to coronavirus or family members? I've had a couple of family members that um, that's close to me that got the virus. I'm not saying who, but I've had family members that got, contracted the virus. And I take this virus very seriously. And a lot of people say, you don't take this virus. I say, I take this virus very seriously. I said, if it wasn't for my job calling me back for work, I wouldn't be out here. And a lot of people don't understand you have to take this seriously. And this election to me is like the worst election ever, because like a lot of people say, and I believe this is one of the worst riots, mass destruction I've ever seen. And it didn't come from people outside of the country. It came from our own people in your own backyard, your neighbors, your co-workers, your friends, your people from down the street, people you thought was cool people. These are the people that out here doing these rioting and protesting and all that, and you're like, wow, this is the people from your own backyard, you know? And I want to know what y'all feel about this. What do y'all feel about the riot? What do y'all feel about Joe Biden being into office? What do y'all feel about all of this? Email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. You can also comment at the bottom of this page. If you also want to have an episode talked about, or if you also have a topic that you want to talk about or you want me to talk about, please feel free to email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. You can also comment at the bottom of this page. I want to know how y'all feel about this election. You don't have to say who you voted for. If you want to say who you voted for, you can say it. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. How do y'all feel about the riots in Washington, D.C., which people thought wasn't a riot? They thought it was just a catastrophe. You know what I'm saying? It was bad. So what do y'all think about it? What do y'all feel about it? email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com. Comment at the bottom of this page. I will be doing a follow-up on this topic and other topics. This is your host, C Money. This is the Roundtable Talk. Once again, Happy New Year's. Stay safe. Stay safe. Get tested. Wash your hands. Keep your hand sanitizer. Mask up at all times. And this is the Roundtable Talk, and I will see you later. God bless.